What if I told you the worst thing she ever did to you was the greatest favor she could have done? You don't see it yet, but you will. Right now, it feels like the world has gone quiet. The late-night texts and the comfort of her voice are gone, and her scent still lingers in your room like a ghost that refuses to leave. You replay the arguments, the silence, and the moment she stopped looking at you like you mattered, thinking you've lost everything. But what really happened is that you were set free, not from love, but from illusion. She didn't love the real you. She loved the version of you that made her feel safe, the one who poured out his soul, gave without limit, and bent until he almost broke just to keep her happy. And in the end, she still walked away. But listen closely, you are not broken. You're waking up. The silence you sit in now is not punishment. It's the birthplace of the man you were meant to become, where kings are built, alone, bruised, angry, and crystal clear. You don't get stronger from comfort. You get sharper in chaos. Right now, it hurts because the mask has fallen off. You're not mourning her. You're mourning the illusion of who you thought she was. Let that sink in. She didn't break you. She exposed the cracks that were already there, and now it's your job to reinforce them with steel, purpose, and focus. This story isn't about her anymore. It's about you remembering who you are, what you bring, what you're building, and why no woman gets to be your oxygen. When a man becomes stoic, when he stops reacting, chasing, and craving, he becomes magnetic and untouchable. She left because she thought you'd crumble. But kings don't beg, they rebuild, stronger, colder, wiser. The next time she thinks about you, it will be too late. You'll be unrecognizable, not because you got revenge, but because you got better. If you're done waiting for closure and ready to turn your silence into strength, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I release what I cannot control. Now let's begin. Number 1. You were the prize. Let's make something brutally clear. She didn't leave because you weren't enough. She left because she didn't understand your value. A woman who doesn't see your worth when you're present will definitely feel your absence when you're gone. But you keep asking the wrong questions. What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Nope. The real question is, why were you handing the crown to someone who couldn't even carry it? You were the foundation, the consistency, the quiet protector behind her confidence. You listened when no one else did and stayed when it got heavy. And yet, she walked away. Now you're thinking, maybe I'll get her back. Maybe if I level up, she'll see me again. Stop. That's not why we build or evolve. We don't improve to win her back. We improve so we never shrink for love again. She mistook your peace for passivity, your kindness for weakness, and that's on her, not you. When a man knows he's the prize, he doesn't chase validation, beg for breadcrumbs, or fold when someone walks out. He builds quietly, ruthlessly, and with focus. Because a king knows, if you couldn't see the value while I was standing right in front of you, you don't deserve front row seats to what I'd become after you. You were never lacking. She was just unqualified to receive you. If you're done lowering your standards just to be seen and ready to walk like the prize you are, comment below. I do not chase. I attract by becoming. Number 2, pain is the portal. Let's not sugarcoat it. This hurts like hell. You feel like something inside you cracked wide open, and it did. But here's the shift. That pain you're feeling is not weakness. It's rebirth. Pain is not your enemy. It's your portal. Most men run from it, numb it, and escape into distractions. Temporary women, dopamine hits, anything to avoid feeling the sting. But the Stoic doesn't run. He sits in it, feels every cut, Bleeds, yes, but bleeds with purpose. Because pain, when faced directly, becomes fuel. It teaches, sculpts, and burns away the parts of you that were soft, naive, and too willing to give yourself to people who never earned it. You think this heartbreak is where you fall. Nope, this is where you forge. Let every sleepless night, every unanswered message, and every moment of rejection harden your mind, sharpen your focus, and raise your standards. This is the exact fire that forges unshakable men. Every empire starts with destruction. What you're feeling isn't the end. It's the demolition before reconstruction. Your heart isn't breaking, it's recalibrating. She was the trigger, but the transformation is yours. You're being forced to grow in ways you never would have if she stayed. One day, when you're locked in, built up, and unrecognizable to your former self, you'll thank the pain. Not because it felt good, but because it made you real, ruthless, clear, and absolutely unstoppable. If you're done running from the fire and ready to be refined by it, comment below. My pain shapes me, not breaks me. Number 3. Control is the currency. She wanted a reaction. That's the part you didn't see when she pulled away. When she stopped responding and when she moved on like you never mattered. It wasn't always about leaving. Sometimes it's a test, a power move. She wanted to see if you'd spiral, blow up her phone, beg and lose your frame. Because the one who loses control loses the game. And too many men give it away without even realizing it. But not you. Not anymore. In Stoicism, the one thing we truly own is our reaction. Not what she did, not who she chose, and not how she moved on like it was easy. You don't control her behavior, you control your response to it. And when you master that, you become, because control isn't just power, it's currency in the psychological war of attraction. The man who doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, and doesn't chase becomes the man she can't stop thinking about. Detachment isn't apathy, it's discipline. It says, I felt that, but I won't react to it. Ha! And that silence, that unbothered stillness, is louder than any words you could ever say. The truth is, she expected you to fold and unravel, but when you stay calm, solid, and don't give her the chaos she was fishing for, you win because your energy is no longer hers to manipulate. Once you learn to sit with your emotions instead of acting on them, that's the moment you take back all your power. If you're done making decisions from a place of weakness and ready to take back control, comment below. I master my emotions, they do not master me. Number 4, indifference is irresistible. Here's the hard truth. Chasing kills attraction. The moment she knows she has you wrapped around her finger, she stops valuing your presence. It's not cruel, it's human nature. People only chase what feels just out of reach. When you beg, check her stories, or post hoping she'll notice, it reeks of desperation. And desperation is the fastest way to bury desire. But indifference? Indifference is lethal. It's magnetic. When you pull back, stop explaining yourself and go completely silent. Not to punish her, but to protect your energy. That's when everything shifts. You don't win her back by pleading. You win by disappearing. Not as a game, but as a principle. Because the man who walks away without burning the room down is the man who haunts her. She'll check your page, wonder if you ever cared, and start filling in the silence with her own doubt. That mental spiral is the cost of losing a man who doesn't need her to validate his worth. Detachment doesn't mean you didn't love her. It means you love yourself more. When she expects obsession but gets stillness, when she looks for drama and finds silence, that's when the power flips. Ihr seht, Misen vor sie sein. Hey, They, he said, you're no longer reacting to her absence. You're building in it, quietly, strongly, and unreachable. Soon, the question in her mind won't be, why did he stop trying? It'll be, what if I was the problem all along? If you're done craving attention that disrespects your value and ready to become the mystery she can't decode, comment below. My silence speaks louder than my words. Number 5. Rewrite the narrative. She didn't reject you, life redirected you. But you haven't seen it that way yet. Have you? You're still stuck in the story where you weren't good enough, where if you had just done more, loved harder, or said the right things, she would have stayed. Nope, that story is poison. If you keep replaying it, you'll remain stuck in a loop that keeps you small. But here's the truth. She was a chapter, not your ending. The version of you that loved her needed to die so the real you could be born. This isn't your downfall, it's your turning point. You are not a victim of heartbreak, you are the author of your comeback. You don't get to control who leaves, but you control what the pain creates. When you stop seeing the situation as loss and start seeing it as redirection, you stop chasing closure and start building a legacy. You're not healing to get her back. You're healing so you never lose yourself again. You start uses guitar, uses food. That version of you who tolerated mixed signals, breadcrumbs, and bare minimum effort is done, buried, dead, and gone. It's time to flip the script. The old story said she was the best thing that ever happened to you. The new one? You were the best thing that ever happened to her, and she fumbled it. But you won't fumble yourself again. You won't build your worth on someone else's ability to choose you. You'll write a new narrative where the heartbreak was the spark, not the scar. When she finally realizes what she walked away from, she'll be a footnote in a story she no longer belongs in. If you're done clinging to a story that keeps you powerless and ready to write your next chapter like a king, comment below. I don't chase closure. I create transformation. Number 6. Attraction is a side effect. Here's where most men get it twisted. They think the path back to power is making her see what she lost. So they hit the gym, stack money, and level up, all while secretly hoping she notices. But that's not power. That's still orbiting around her. That's performance based on a wound, and women can feel that. Real attraction, the kind that flips the dynamic, is never forced, never shown. It's felt. It only shows up when you've stopped caring whether she sees it or not. A Stoic doesn't chase attention. He chases purpose. He wakes up locked in, not because he wants to prove something, but because becoming better is the bare minimum. He's not posting thirst traps or cryptic quotes. He's quiet, focused, intentional, and that glow up is just the natural result of a man who decided to evolve with no audience. Because attraction, real gravitational attraction, is a side effect of obsession with purpose. Once you tap into that energy, you stop looking around for validation. You stop needing her to care. What happens next? She notices. All of them do. The same woman who left thinking she upgraded suddenly finds herself checking your page again, lurking in silence. Why? Because nothing is more attractive than a man who no longer needs to be seen. When you make purpose your priority, attraction becomes effortless, automatic and unavoidable. But it only happens once your attention shifts fully off of her. If you're done chasing women and ready to chase purpose, comment below. I rise in silence. They'll feel it loud. Number 7. She'll watch you rise. She thought you'd break. That's what she expected when she walked away. She imagined you spiraling, blowing up her phone, posting sad quotes, and drowning in regret. But instead, you went dark, got quiet, and then got busy. That silence terrifies her, because now she's the one watching you rise without her, becoming the version of yourself she never believed in. The best part? You're not doing it to make her jealous. You're doing it because your healing demanded it. Most guys want to flex too soon, show off the new car, the gym progress, the look what you lost energy. But kings move differently. You rise without announcements. You rebuild in silence. Not because you're hiding, but because you've outgrown the need to be seen. You're not here for applause, you're here for evolution. And that evolution is loud enough on its own. She'll hear it in your absence, feel it in your detachment, and she'll regret it. Not because you rubbed it in her face, but because you didn't need to. When a man levels up and says nothing, that's when it hits. The man she left behind no longer exists. If you're done explaining your growth to people who lost access and ready to let your results speak, comment below. My silence is her reminder. I never needed to stay. Number 8, you are the storm. She thought she left you broken. She thought the silence would destroy you. She expected you to fold, fall apart, and become a ghost of yourself. But she didn't understand. You are the storm. You don't collapse when things fall apart. You adapt. You rise. You rebuild. Not with emotion, but with precision. This isn't about pretending you're fine. It's about becoming dangerous in your discipline. You took the pain, the confusion, the sleepless nights, and turned them into structure, habits, and fuel. This is where most men go wrong. They want to prove a point too early. They want to be seen healing, but real power is silent. When a Stoic man is wounded, he doesn't broadcast it. He becomes better than the version of himself that allowed it to happen. You sharpen your mind, push your body, and organize your world. You take all the chaos she left behind and transform it into order. When the dust settles, you don't just look different. You move differently, speak less, and observe more. You stop explaining yourself. A man who's been through hell and emerged stronger doesn't need to convince anyone of anything. She thought the damage would destroy you, but it became your blueprint. Now, when she looks at you, she won't recognize the man she thought would never recover. She'll see the storm, cold, calm, and relentless. If you're done letting heartbreak define you and ready to become the force that builds your future, comment below. I am not broken. I am built from fire. Number 9, your empire. You keep telling yourself, if she would just say sorry, if she'd just admit what she did, maybe I could move on. But let me be real with you. You don't need her apology. You need a vision bigger than your pain, an empire that drowns out the echoes of her absence. Closure doesn't come from her. It comes from you deciding that her words no longer hold power over your future. You could get every apology, every confession, and every tear-filled message, and you'd still feel hollow if you haven't built something real for yourself. You weren't meant to just heal. You were meant to build. Not to impress her, not to prove a point, but because there is no revenge greater than no longer care. The only way to get there is to be so locked in, so focused on your empire, business, fitness, and purpose, that the idea of her becomes small, not because you erased her, but because she no longer fits the man you've become. Every time you hesitate, waiting for that message or hoping for that closure, you delay your rise. Don't trade your throne for a text. Don't shrink your vision for validation. Her apology won't build your empire, but your discipline will. Your consistency, your refusal to stay stuck in a chapter that's already closed. That's the mindset shift. You don't need her to come back. You need you to show up like your future depends on it. Because it does. If you're done waiting for words and ready to let your empire be the final answer, comment below. My empire makes apologies irrelevant. Number 10. The comeback is cold. You want to know what real revenge looks like? It's not rage, it's not flexing, it's not trying to make her jealous. It's silence, stillness, and precision. A man's true comeback isn't loud. It's cold, calculated, and unreachable. By the time she realizes what she lost, you're not the same man anymore. You're sharper, colder, not bitter, but clear. The version of you that waited for her reply, that second-guessed his worth, that molded himself to keep her happy. He's gone, buried under discipline, replaced by a man who doesn't break for love. He builds through loss. You're no longer driven by pain. You're driven by purpose. That's the Stoic way. You let the fire burn, but inside, not out. No more emotional outbursts. No more trying to make her understand. Let her sit with the echo of your absence. Let her feel the weight of your indifference. She wanted space. You gave her distance. She wanted freedom. You gave her silence. And now you've become untouchable. Not because you played the game better, but because you stopped playing it entirely. This is the part they never expect. They expect you to come back, to chase, to fold. But when you rise without flinching, becoming colder without turning cruel, you become unforgettable. That's the real win. She doesn't get access to the man you became through the pain she caused. That's your reward and her consequence. If you're done proving yourself to the past and ready to rise like the future is already yours, comment below. I rise without apology. I return without permission. You started this journey wondering why it hurts so much. Why someone you gave everything to could walk away so easily. But now you know she didn't break you. She revealed you. She exposed the cracks you needed to see you and the softness you needed to harden. You are not the same man anymore. You don't chase, beg, or explain. You build quietly, relentlessly, like a Stoic, like a king. This journey isn't about getting her back. It's about getting you back. And not the old you, but the upgraded version. The one who doesn't lose sleep over people who sleep on him. The one who understands that silence isn't weakness, it's power. You don't rise to be seen. You rise because it's who you are now, cold, calm, and focused. Stoicism isn't about pretending not to feel. It's about not being ruled by feeling. That's your edge now, what separates you from the man who fell, and the man who's about to conquer everything. So let her scroll, let her wonder, let her regret. You've got nothing to prove to her and everything to prove to yourself. In the end, she lost a king, but you gained your empire. If this message resonates with you and you're ready to leave the past behind and rule your future, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. She lost a king. I built an empire.